All righty, here we go. So I see these apologists. I see these apologists for the Democratic Party and for Joe Biden in particular are now starting to realize, oh, nothing's going to change. Oh, the Democrats are, they're not doing what they should be doing. Oh, Christian cinema. Oh, Joe Manchin. Oh, they've done such bad things. They're starting to realize that this country cannot be fixed. They are realizing that it does not matter what party it is that neoliberalism infested both parties long ago in the 1970s, probably even further back than that in some ways. But they both took up neoliberal policies. And because of that, in terms of the fake duopoly that is the United States in terms of Democrat Republican, it makes no difference, does it? And people are starting to realize they're both the same party in terms of finance or in terms of economical sense, right? You can say Democrats are going to be more lawful, this and that they're a little bit nicer. But the thing is, that's a matter of opinion, isn't it? They can point to their little examples. They can point to their examples like AOC is somebody who's progressive, or point to Ilhan Omar as if they're going to change anything. No, the system is changing them. It cannot, like I say, the only answer is going to be balkanization. And I know it's going to be awful, but that is the reality that we live in. We see it more and more, right? You can have these folks who talk about, oh, they illegally arrest migrants, this and that. Are you going to give them jobs? Are they going to, do they automatically agree with the LGBTQ movement that exists in this country that is slowly stupefying everybody? I don't think they do. And they will drum those folks out. Make no mistake about it. They will pretend to give a shit about migrants. They will pretend to give a shit about all this sort of stuff, the climate change, migrants. They don't care. They do not care about them at all. Because once they find out that a lot of those folks are just as homophobic as, the black folks or the alt-right or the evangelicals or whichever, they're not going to be too happy about that. The reality is, I would argue, is that homosexuality will destroy the United States. And I'm just going to say it. I think that there's not much that can save this nation in any way, shape, or form. You can cuck to corporations as much as you want to. You can cuck to the Democratic Party as much as you want to. Cuck to the Republicans. Cuck to whatever you think is going to save this nation. We've already, like I say, it's already been predestined at this point. This country will break apart. I'm not even going to say the CW word, which means civil war. I'm not even going to say that. But there will be a balkanization. I hope it's peaceful. I do. But I doubt it. I saw, like I said, the reason I put this out, and don't worry, I'm gonna talk about McAfee here in a moment, but I saw good old Justin King being nuanced about Joe Biden and saying, well, they reduced the wait time by 25%. Oh, well, that's a great thing, he said. Oh. But then he said the bed still has lice in it and the meat is still undercooked by cooks and all this other stuff. And it's like, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised by that? And he suddenly got mad at that. And it's like, you fucking idiots. It's like, they don't want to admit. They don't want to admit that the folks who have become dissidents, either, dissident right or just dissidents in general, who realize that both parties stink and that it doesn't matter what party it is because they've both been infested with neoliberalism. They don't want to admit that they're right, that Democrats and Republicans are the same in many ways. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to. No. Democrats are going to do good. Okay. Be a retard then. Keep being a moron and keep thinking that, reformism is going to change everything, That if we just continue to cuck to the Democratic Party while also pushing for some sort of democratic socialism, that's going to make things better. Keep doing that. Keep doing it and think that it's going to solve the issue. Keep doing it. No matter what. Vote blue no matter who. Morons. And, he wanted to go on this rant and a rave about it. And then I saw that Trey Crowder guy, the liberal, comedian from the South. I use my accent a little bit, I saw these two losers. And they don't want to admit to themselves that, the Democratic Party isn't going to change a damn thing. Why would they want to? Why would either party want to change? They have their personal needs met. As long as they keep cucking to, these various folks and that, they'll get promises of whichever type of deal from, I'm trying to think of it now, from different lobbyists and from different, different groups and everything else like that, different caucuses. Why would they want to give in? Why would they want to? Just answer me that question. Why would they want to change anything? If you were a politician and you had the chance to, get all this money from oil companies and whatnot, wouldn't you want to take it? I know a lot of folks would probably try to be like, I would never do such a thing. I would never take gas money. Till you see how many zeros are on the end of that check. And they'll say, well, okay, I guess if you don't feel that way. Oh, well, wait a minute. Well, maybe we can see if we can work a deal. And that's always the way it goes, isn't it? The power of money. And the power of money will destroy this country as well. Homosexuality. Like I said, this is like my version of the Four Horsemen. Homosexuality and the promotion of LGBTQIA nonsense. The fact that transgenderism will ultimately, become something that's normalized more and more. Non-binary and all this other faewah. People will have to wake up and realize that it's all a psyop. You've all been, like I say, sissified into believing it. Me too to a point, but yeah. Also, John McAfee. Now I'm going to get to John McAfee. John McAfee passed away while he was in Catalan prison. It's a very odd story. Yeah, he was in a Catalan jail. Let me go ahead and read. I'll read the CNN one just because I'm lazy. It's 39 minutes. It was 39 minutes ago. John McAfee, the controversial antivirus software who had run multiple recent run-ins with the U.S. law, died at 75. He was in a Spanish prison, Catalonia. All those issues been going on in Catalonia. They've been talking about, stuff like that. It sounds like he's been murdered. Early Wednesday, a 3-judge panel at Spain's National Court in Madrid ruled that McAfee could be extradited to the United States to face charges there. Told CNN that decision could still have been appealed by a larger panel of judges at the same court, according to court documents. McAfee was arrested in Spain in October. Yeah, this guy's been traveling around the world to avoid bullshit, He allegedly failed to file taxes for 4 years despite earning millions in income between 2014 and 2018 from promoting cryptocurrencies, consulting work, speaking engagements, and selling the rights to his life story for a documentary, according to court documents. The amount he owed was not specified in the indictment. In a virtual hearing in Spanish court earlier this month, McAfee argued that the U.S. tax evasion charges against him were politically motivated. Final 2 decades. Yeah, bizarre events. We know. Yeah, spent time in Guatemala, Montreal. Yeah. Launched a new security project that he called a fucking game changer. Yeah. So the thing is, it's very sus. And there's going to be more information. People are already starting to come up with the theories about why he was killed. Because I do believe he was murdered. I know, like I say, I know pro-blacks would talk about Dr. Sebi as well. This feels like a Dr. Sebi moment. For those that know, Dr. Sebi was a guy who claimed to have cured AIDS. He was in a New York court. And he was friends with, Nation of Islam folks, this and that, back in the 50s and 60s. And he claimed to have cured cancer. They basically just, they took him to court, said it was BS. They kicked him out, and he was down in, I think, ironically, just like him, was in Guatemala. And they continued to sell some of his stuff and recipes in the United States, vegan stuff, mostly is what they did. He smoked weed, he had, different women, stuff like that. Lisa Left Eye Lopez died down there as well. And she was down, or I think it was Honduras. Maybe that was it. It was Honduras, I think, now that I'm thinking right. And Lisa Left Eye Lopez brought some friends down to go to Dr. Sebi's little compound down there. And Lisa Left Eye Lopez died. So, died in a car crash. So it's a very, very, very mysterious circumstances, to say the least. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that. I hope y'all enjoyed that video. See you later. Goodbye.